yourself. 1 second now while we just get organized, while I get organized. I'm sure you're organized already. Just have to check that everything's coming in as it's supposed to on all the different, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Nearly there. Now I'm a bit close on Facebook. I'm not in the center on Instagram. Not sure which way I'm supposed to go, but anyway, I'll figure it out. How are you? How's the day going? How's Valentine's Day going, huh? I hope it's going well. It's fine if it's not. Every day can't be brilliant, so if it's not, that's fine, but I hope it's going well for you. Right, time for a bit of meditation. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. I meditate throughout the day. This is just the one I do on the internet, and this one's part of the further emergence work that I do, and I'll explain all about that at the end of when we're finished the meditation. So if you're used to meditating, if you're familiar with it, that's brilliant. Familiar with meditating. I'm still off to one side. I think I'm going the wrong way here. If you're used to meditating, that's brilliant. Can you hang on though while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation? Now, I made it worse, so I'll try the other way. Just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with the part of me that I connect to every night when I'm asleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm dreaming, and then I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, where I have no thoughts, I've got no memories, I've no personality, I've got no body, I've got no stories, I've got no possessions, no house, no country, nothing. I don't even have me. Like, I cease to exist. Certainly in the way that I normally register my existence, like the way I'm talking to you now. Which, when you add it all up like that, that sounds awful. That sounds like death. And yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that's a good place to go to. And that's where I want to go to in meditation. That place. So straight away, if you are new to meditation, don't try this lying down because you'll fall asleep. And if you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep. So, which is kind of not where we're going. So yeah, sit up. I sit up on a chair. You can sit in the lotus position if you want, if you're comfortable doing that. I sit in a chair. Don't sit in a really comfortable chair though. You'll just fall asleep. You'll just be into that whole side of things again. So as I say, there's no thoughts in this place, so I have to, figure something out with my mind. I have to make an arrangement with my mind to sort of part the curtains of my mind so I can get into this place. So I make an arrangement. I just say, hey, can you just not think for the next 15 minutes because we want to meditate? And my mind is used to the process of meditation. So at this stage, it's okay. It's almost like saying to somebody, I've got to go into this room. Could you just wait outside the door for me, please? That's often what it feels like. So it's important to get your mind on board. And the first time you meditate, your mind will be on board because it's interesting. And my mind loves new things, so it'll be like, yay, meditation, that's new. I haven't done that before. That sounds interesting. But, around the 20th time or 30th time, your mind will be like, I'm sick of waiting outside this stupid room. I'm bored. Okay. So if you start to get a bit of resistance from your mind, as you want to try and get a meditation practice going for yourself, like a regular thing that you do every day or multiple times a day, you may need to give your mind the sorts of things that minds like, things like ideas, concepts, thoughts. So maybe watch some videos, maybe read some books about meditation so that your mind can kind of go, oh, okay, I think I understand what's happening here. So mind on board, that's very helpful. Then to stop thinking, that's actually not that hard, because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be the content of my thought, the structure of my thought's always the same, which is pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. And as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. Now, the practice of meditation runs parallel with my intention, the intention of my meditation. So the intention of my meditation is, as I said, to go to this deep, mysterious, profound, still, calm. I'm just trying to think of all the other words that are used to describe meditation. Zen-like, still, I've said that. Possibly eternal place, to go to this place. That's the intention of my meditation. The practice of meditation runs parallel with it and kind of starts as soon as I stop thinking. And it pretty much goes, I stop thinking, so I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. Then a little bit of time will pass and then I'll discover that I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. Then some more time passes, I discover I'm thinking again. I go, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. Then some more time passes, I discover I'm thinking again. So I go, I'm thinking again, okay. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, and so on. Just repeatedly, every time I discover that I'm thinking, I bring myself back to not thinking. Now, I sort of alert you to that, the difference between the two, because it's easy to get the misconception that to meditate correctly, in inverted commas, that you shouldn't be thinking at all, that your mind is like a lake and there shouldn't be a ripple of thought across it, which isn't the case. It's more of a dance between these two things, between the intention and the practice. Okay, so sometimes you'll be very still and calm, and that can feel lovely. And then other times you'll be discovering that you're thinking, and both are powerful. It's very powerful when you're in that deep, still, profound place. You can really feel things happening in your body. That'll be your nervous system readjusting. But it's also very powerful when you are discovering that you're thinking. It's just a bit more subtle, the power side of it. Because if you're like me, the sorts of things that you think about are all to do with you. Like, what am I going to do about that thing? Why did that person say that to me? Why did I say that to that person? And so on. Now, if I'm in the middle of one of those thoughts and I'm in the middle of meditation, and I go, oh, I'm thinking, oh, grand, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. Indirectly, what I'm saying to myself is, that thought that I was just thinking, that I thought was me, and that, was that it was me and I was it. Well, I just made that disappear. I just made it just to disappear. So I'm not that thought. In fact, I'm not any of my thoughts. I'm something else. So that's very powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So both have their place. Okay, so the main thing is, if you not to get into thinking that you're doing it wrong or thinking that you're thinking too much, don't add to your thinking by thinking about how much you're thinking. It changes day to day, hour to hour, depending on when you're meditating and what's going on. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just the main thing is, every time you discover that you're thinking, just bring yourself back to not thinking, and you're doing it right. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also letting go of any tension that I have in my body, or I'm becoming more conscious of my body. And so what I do is I scan my body from my head down to my feet and back up again, very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to let it go, because it's very natural to do that, to just breathe it away. But it's also a good way of bringing my awareness to my breathing, because it's quite easy to hold your breath during meditation, or to stop breathing altogether. So using the out breath is just a nice way of bringing a bit more attention to my breathing. Also, as I'm scanning my body, I'm paying particular attention to any structures in my body that go across my body, or transverse. Mostly my body runs longitudinally, but any structures that go across, they operate a little bit like a log going across a stream. They can pick up the leaves and the twigs and the branches, except in my body it's tension. So I'm checking my eyes particularly, my mouth and my jaw, my tongue, base of my neck, my shoulder girdle, all my joints, because they are all transverse sides as well. So my, what's that? My shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, my fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. And as I say, anywhere I find tension, I just breathe it away. If you're new to meditation, a nice quiet room is very helpful, because as soon as you close your eyes, your hearing is going to amplify. And one of the things that triggers thoughts is sound. So the quieter the room you have, the better, where you're not going to be disturbed. And another thing I do to sort of help my mind not have things to think about is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. But if you're new to meditation, I would set it for shorter. I would set it for like 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times. Because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. Okay. Timer started. Off we go into the mystery. Okay, if you feel like you've gone very deep and you need to come back from there, then take time before you open your eyes. Take the time you need. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then you can just open your eyes. And if when you do that you feel like you've lost the inner space, you can just close your eyes again. Oh, yep, there it is. Open them again. Nope, lost it again. Close them again, and so on. You can use your eyes like a valve to kind of balance the inner state and the outer state. Your inner state and your outer state. So as I said at the beginning, these daily meditations that I do are part of further emergence, and further emergence is to do with growth, specifically inner growth, or growth in consciousness, or spiritual growth, or you can put it whatever way you want, but growth on the inside. And it's like when you're growing up as a child, your body grows, and then you become an adolescent, and then you become an adult, and your body stops growing and switches into something else. But you keep growing on the inside, and just like when your body was growing, you might have gone through periods of accelerated growth. They're called growth spurts. Well, you go through them on the inside as well, and that continues your whole life. And when they're happening, when these inner growth spurts are happening, it can feel like something's wrong, or it's not natural, but it is natural. It'd be like when you were having a growth spurt when you were a kid, and if your mother brought you to the doctor, wouldn't be giving you drugs or anything. They'd just say, "Oh, it's just a growth spurt. It'll pass. Here's something for the pain, maybe." So it's easy to kind of misidentify these inner growth spurts as something unnatural when they're not. It's just part of growing, and that's what further emergence is about. So one of the ways that I help with that, or I hope to help with that, is with these daily meditations, because the more familiar you are with your inner space, the easier it is to navigate these inner growth spurts. Then I also, there's a Zoom group every week where you get to meet other people, or see other people, or hear about other people's experience. I've been through this process myself many times, and I've helped lots of other people through it as well. And one of the dynamics of it is a feeling of isolation, because you can go from sort of 1 week feeling like everyone you know gets you, and you get everybody, and it's great, and then the next week nobody gets you, and nobody understands what you're talking about, and they all think you're a bit nutty, and it can feel quite lonely. So the Zoom group is good to kind of hear other people's story and go, oh, okay, it's not just me, it's a thing that's going on, because there's a lot of growth going on at the moment, just with everything that's changing. There's a general wave of inner growth happening. So the Zoom groups are good for that. And then I work with people one-on-one as well. And that's a combination of working in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. So in front of the scenes, it's kind of talking and questions and answers and that kind of thing. And then behind the scenes, I do distance, kind of behind the scenes work with them as well, to help with the process. So if that resonates with you, follow along on the different platforms. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. So yeah, subscribe or like or follow or whatever, just so you can keep up with it. Or you can go to the website furtheremergence.com and read more about it. Okay, so thanks for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.